Thanks for joining us here on Talk of the Town. I'm Lisa Peters and I'm going to be your host. And Merry Christmas to some of you and Happy New Year, depending when you're watching this show. This show is going to air from Christmas Day up until January 6th or something. And I really found that there was an important message here that I wanted to carry over. So if you're watching the show and you've got through it and you're thinking, I'd love to share this with someone, make sure they're watching. We're airing this Monday to Friday, 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 5:30. So I want you to meet my first guest. We're going to meet Stacey Adelman. She is a registered psychologist with the Joshua Tree. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So the reason I had called was I think so many times Christmas is a fabulous time and it's super busy and super excited, but it's not that way for everyone. Mm-hmm. And I think there is at times there's sadness and even leading to depression. So I want to talk about the spirit of giving and how we can overcome that. But I first want to start with sadness and depression. Is it the same thing? It's different?
It is very different. Sadness, we all experience moments of sadness. Sadness will come and go. It's normal to experience feelings of sadness. It's part of our experience as a human being to experience that emotion. Depression is a lot more persistent. It goes on and on. There doesn't seem to be a reprieve from it, and it's impacting your daily living. So it may get in the way of your ability to maybe do your work, how you interact with your family, and how you're able to enjoy some of the holidays, for example. Mm-hmm. So it's more persistent.
And when something like that is persistent and you know someone is saying you're depressed, is this something you need help with, or can you get out of it yourself by doing things, or is depression you need to ask for help?
Well, it's different for everyone. We always advocate to ask for help. It takes a lot of strength to ask for help. That's probably the hardest step. Yeah. And so there's a lot of respect I have for people that are able to reach out for help. And when you do that, it can make the road a little bit easier to take. There are people willing to help. There's a lot of strategies that might be offered that maybe you never thought of before to help you cope.
Okay. So if anyone is watching this and they find themselves sad or lonely during this Christmas time, but even into the new year, and I never got to my goals and I made the New Year's, just feeling, what are some of the things that maybe people can do, from giving back, or, what are the things we can do to maybe make ourselves happier, or to come out of always thinking about ourselves maybe, or depression?
Well, there's a few things that we can do, and I think there's a lot of high expectations around the Christmas and the holiday season in terms of what we want from that. So I think number one, let's check our expectations. And we're still emotional creatures. We're still going to have our highs and lows. It's very normal. We can't be happy all of the time, and so it's normal to have those highs and lows, and that's okay. So think about your expectations and what you're wanting out of the holiday season. Secondly, I think it might be helpful to put away social media. Comparison can be the thief of joy, and sometimes when we're comparing ourselves to everyone's highlight reel, we can start feeling worse about some of the things we're experiencing in our own lives. Mm-hmm. Giving is certainly going to be helpful. You might want to surround yourself with other people. Sometimes just being around other people. You don't have to be saying anything or communicating with them at all. Just being in the coffee shop can make us feel a little bit better.
I sometimes think people don't know where to call. When I think of giving or volunteering your time, mm-hmm. we don't know how to make that call. Who do you call?
Right. Well, there's lots of different ways we can give of our time, and I learned this lesson from my mom. Her gift to us every year is the gift of time. So she'll call me and say, what do you want this year for the gift of time? She might come and drive my kids to their activities for a day, mm-hmm. or this year I asked for Christmas baking and cabbage rolls. So that she's given me the gift of time of doing that for me. If you want to get more involved in the community, try calling the food bank, try calling Salvation Army, the soup kitchen. Maybe welcome in newcomers to Canada who are mm-hmm. getting settled for the first time through the Open Door Society. Get involved with Salvation Army, Carmichael Outreach. There's lots of places that really want our help this season.
I love it, and really there are just so many places that need your help, mm-hmm. and you can share your time, and I love that, your mother. Yeah. Mom, I need pierogies.
Yes.
Use your time to make me pierogies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love giving up social media. We actually need to get out of this little world that they're living in, that it isn't real.
Right.
Get out to the community.
Yes.
Be active part. Yeah.
And it's sometimes just the smallest of gestures, you know, that make a really big impact. It's plugging somebody's parking meter while you're downtown. It's buying somebody a coffee. It's just a smile and, hey, how are you doing today?
Yeah.
You know, can really make a world of difference. And we don't know what's going on in other people's lives.
Yeah.
So a small gesture can really make a big difference.
Yeah, I had read about just the giving of time, and one of them was when you know someone's not doing that well, and you call them and say, hey, how are you doing? And everyone's response is, I'm fine, I'm good. Why don't we say, hey, I'm making some cabbage rolls, I'm gonna bring you some.
Right.
I'm not asking you.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just going to drop over. I'm just going to clean up your house, or you know, while you're gone. I don't
Yes.
know what all the answers are, but instead of asking, "How are you?" I'm fine.
Right. And something we might want to say instead is, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Right? Show up and say, I'm here for you in whichever way you need. It can just be holding space for them for a few minutes and sitting with them. You might not have to say anything.
Yeah.
It's just being there. Your presence means a lot.
Your presence means a lot. Thank you. Well, thank you for coming on, Stacey, and just sharing your time with us and our viewers, and just giving us a little difference on what we can do. We all can make a difference, and we just got to step up sometimes, but it's hard, and I you know, we get that too.
Yeah,
Thank
keep
you.
it simple, and the smallest of gestures makes a big difference.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Stacey Adelman. She is a registered psychologist with the Joshua Tree, and if you need help, please reach out. As Stacey was saying, she has much respect for people who reach out during this time. But we gave some ideas on just how you can keep busy. I'm going to maybe post something on my Facebook page on just ways that we can find happiness and find joy in this time when sometimes it is difficult. So I want you to stay with us, because next up we are going to meet St. John's Ambulance therapy dogs. We're going to talk a little bit about stress and what a therapy dog can bring you.